This video is brought to you by 86. Pick up video game apparel from Skullgirls and Monster Hunter World. 86.com/?AFF equals 4 and let them know that we sent you. Hello everybody, give me 1 second. There we go. Hey, it has been a week. I hope everybody had a good, happy holidays during the Thanksgiving week. That's why I wasn't making any videos, because I just came back and didn't have time to make them. So, a week off, get my batteries recharged because boy, there's a lot of things happening right now for this week. If you're watching this, it's Monday, December 9th. We are, instead of one event, there are two big events happening this week. We got the State of Play happening tomorrow, and then on Thursday night, it's going to be the Game Awards. Now, I will be covering that in another video, but I'll be covering my predictions for each category, and I will splice it in between what games I think will be revealed, what have been leaked so far, and so on. I might even talk some of them right here in this news story. But we will talk about State of Play that is happening tomorrow, as Sony has announced. This comes from GameSpot.com, written by Richard Welkin. PlayStation's final State of Play 2019 promises new game reveals. PlayStation Final State of Play in 2019 airs on Tuesday, December 10th at 6 a.m., 9 a.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. GMT. You can watch it live on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Sony is promising around 20 minutes of new game reveals, release dates announcements, new gameplay footage, and more. Just don't expect anything related to company's next-gen plans. It says it's saying it's tight-lipped for now. Artwork for Resident Evil 3 Remake has already been leaked on PlayStation Network, so it would make sense for Capcom's latest to appear officially during next week's State of Play, perhaps and release date attached. We already know the PS4 exclusive Last of Us Part 2 and Final Fantasy VII Remake are launching in 2020, but Ghost of Tsushima is less certain. Fans have been clamoring for more Sucker Punch's samurai action since it was revealed at E3 2018. So many will be waiting with bated breath to see if it reemerges during the final State of Play of the year. The timing of this is a little curious, though, considering the Game Awards airs a couple days later on December 12th. The annual show is known for its big announcements, and in the 2019 edition is set to reveal 10 new game projects between handling out all of the awards. Show organizer Jeff Keighley says none of the 10 have leaked yet. This rules out the Resident Evil 3 remake, and it seems unlikely there will be any crossover and reveals between the two shows. Either way, next week should be exciting as 2020's release lineup begins to form. So, as I said prior in this podcast, 2020 is going to be an insane year. We're going to have so many great games coming out next year. March is already looking like a hell of a month for gaming. On top of that, we have two next generation consoles coming out next year, at the end of next year, November, December time. Now, in regards to all that, the background, or the basically setting up the situation for next year and for the State of Play for this one, what I kind of was looking around researching for, like, what exactly they're going to be showing at State of Play. I think that the leak RE3 is going to show from the work. A trailer will show up either at State of Play, Sony, or at at the Game Awards. I know Jeff Keighley said like no leaks has happened, but I call bullshit on that. You could say that, but until the Game Awards happens, call me cynical, Jeff Keighley. But like we'll see how that goes. But with that in mind, I think that RE3 was going to show up either way because of the leak. And Sony, either State of Play or Game Awards, I would have figured it would have shown up at the Game Awards. But I also, with Sony saying they're doing a State of Play on Tuesday or tomorrow, we'll probably see it there, more than likely. There's only 20 minutes of show, or a 20-minute show for State of Play for tomorrow morning. So you only got room for a couple of games, honestly, depending on. And from the wording from the article saying that Sony is promising around 20 minutes of new game reveals, release dates, announcements, new gameplay footage, and more. So we're gonna get some new. I think the new game reveals, as far as that goes, I don't think we've had anything leaked per se. I think that is going to be probably some small indie games in there mixed in with other AAA games. Because if we're talking about the AAA game space, like much of Sony's catalog at the moment, you're not hearing a bunch about it because like PS5 is next year, and this is normal for a lot of game companies when it comes to game cycles or game console cycles, is that those game companies will start to slow down their efforts to making games on the current system and get ready to make a new game for the next gen console. And that's pretty typical. And since we're in 2019, and that next year will be the year that we'll have our console, both PS5 and the Xbox, whatever you call it, the Scarlet, coming out next year. I expect to see less and less talk from Sony in terms of like, hey, here's, our games coming out. They do have a couple games down the horizon coming out next year that are going to be released on PS4. More than likely, they might just be cross-released on PS5. My best guess. But with that being said, RE3 Remake showing up on the Sony State of Play? Yes, I can see that. Absolutely. Another thing I did notice when I was looking things up, apparently Ghost of Tsushima videos were updated on their YouTube channel on Sony, or Sony's YouTube channel. Like there was a secret playlist updated with new information and possibly new videos for Ghost of Tsushima. So there's some heavy speculation that Ghost of Tsushima footage will be showing at the State of Play, which again, we haven't seen much of that game since E3. So I'm very curious to see what Sucker Punch is doing with that game and see more of it come this tomorrow morning with Sony. In regards to anything else wise, I think that this State of Play is going to be a swan song for Sony. I think that's going to be, hey, let's look back at the years of the PS4 and how we dominated this generation, because they did. They certainly did. And they'll like look back and say, oh, remember this game? Oh, remember that other game? Oh man, this game is awesome. You know what? These games are going to be discounted today and all that jazz. They're basically going to butter up to everybody in the PS4 ecosystem and say, hey, check out these games. They're discounted. You want to get in a PS Plus program? Go for it. It's going to be discounted. That's my guess. I feel like Sony's going to go that route. I should mention also, among other things they'll talk about, I think they will briefly talk about Tekken 7, because on that same day, the DLC characters for Season 3 will be released on December 10th as well. So it's going to be on the same day. So I think they'll briefly talk about Tekken. I mean, Tekken World Tour Finals just finished. So I think that they'll briefly mention it. Because I have the rerun happening right next to me. So, but yeah, they'll briefly mention it, and I think that they'll definitely they'll talk a little bit about it. In regards to anything else, I think it's going to be a wild card of other games. Maybe new IPs, maybe some indie games. I forgot to mention. So there was a leak for the new Kingdom Hearts DLC, Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind, which the trailer's out. People have seen it. It was discovered through an untitled video on YouTube. And that game, or that trailer probably will be showing up at Sony E3. I don't think it was showing up E3, Sony State of Play. I think it was. I won't think it will show up during the Game Awards. I really don't. Just because, I mean, it could, but I think that the Kingdom Hearts 3 released on Sony is Sony exclusives, and I think it is. It should be. I believe it is. And I think that what was it? Yeah, like I think that they definitely want to showcase it on their thing and say this is Sony first and all that. Hurrah, hurrah! So I think that the Kingdom Hearts trailer will show up during the State of Play. I'll be surprised if it doesn't, and if it doesn't, it's gonna show up in the Game Awards. Either way, and it's Square Enix. I feel like it's gonna be State of Play. It just feels too convenient, honestly. But yeah, like I think that they'll probably talk about it or showcase it. Other than that, part of me wants to say that we will see a Last of Us Part 2 trailer, I guess, or maybe not even trailer. Like here's a PS4 exclusive for the game for next year because that game was delayed. That's my guess. I think it's probably the most likely, honestly, because I don't think they're gonna show another trailer for Last of Us Part 2. I think if anything, they do show anything about it, they'll show like a PS4 exclusive, like they would Death Stranding. So I think that's gonna be, if they show anything, Last of Us 2. Final Fantasy VII Remake, I think we won't. They didn't show like a trailer recently. Like wasn't there like a trailer that recently came out for FF7 remake? So I feel like there was, and I'm kind of on the loop on that one. But we'll see on that one. I don't think we'll see anything Final Fantasy 7. And again, they said they won't be talking about nothing about the PS5. So no news on PlayStation 5 other than the fact that it is happening, and rumors about when that event's happening, as far as like, you know, when they're gonna big event to showcase PS5. I remember hearing and people talking about it's going to be happening in February. That's the rumors as of late. No official word yet from Sony when it's going to actually take place or announce, but it's pretty sure from, I think, prior past history, it's been in that time period, February, March. So we might see something to that knowledge. As far as anything else wise, when it comes to the State of Play, again, you only got 20 minutes that Sony's putting up, and it's going to be a couple of games. I don't think they're going to spend too much time on each one. I think that they spend the most time, honestly, it's going to be with, let me think, Ghost of Tsushima. I think that if any game that they can spend the most time with is going to be Ghost of Tsushima, and then maybe I would say Ghost of Tsushima and RE3 remake. I'm saying those are the two games they're gonna spend the most time in regards to how much time they're gonna give versus the other stuff. So that's my guess. That's what I'm thinking. And again, if we don't see it there, we'll see it at the Game Awards, assuming that we, with the leaks happening, that it will show up during the Game Awards. So again, wait and see. We'll see how that goes. But again, call me a liar in 24 hours and go for it. I mean, my Twitch and Twitter right here, so you can actually tweet at me and tell me I lied. But yeah, like that's gonna be my thoughts or my predictions for State of Play. Again, out of nowhere, Sony just kind of announced it. I feel like, I don't know. Like I feel like somebody at Sony just kind of forgot. Like, oh right, we gotta do a Sony State of Play. We should right in front of the Game Awards, because the Game Awards is happening and a bunch of other announcements are gonna happen. So we better get in front of that before we get forgotten. That's my guess as far as like why that happened. But we'll see. We shall see when it comes to that. But those are my thoughts on our predictions. So I hope you guys watch State of Play. I will watch my State of Play. I'll watch State of Play as well on my end. I'll probably make a reactions video for Friday. Yeah. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you Wednesday.